Alright, so this is a video talking about what you should have for your project proposal. I'm not going to go into too much depth because it is technically written out on your paper, but I do want to talk about it some to make sure we are on the same page. So your project proposal, it is due Monday. This would be 9/26. Alright, so for your project proposal, it's probably most likely going to be 3 paragraphs. It doesn't have to be, but I do kind of want it laid out, an idea of first goal, and you can type this if you want, and then second goal, and then third goal. I do want you to write each of the goals in your own words. Alright, for each goal, it should be, what must you measure? Like, what is your data? So what are you measuring? So what is your data? How will you measure that data? Alright, what tools? How are you going to set up your experiment? As well as your analysis. So this would be equations, graphs, calculations. What kind of things are you going to do with that? So your explanation should include all of these things. So basically, how are you going to analyze your data, and how will you use this analysis to achieve your goal? So you will definitely want graphs on these, especially because it says you have to find a relationship. Your first goal is finding a relationship between the mass your cart carries and its acceleration such that you could predict the acceleration of your car when it is carrying an arbitrary mass. So often when I'd say the word relationship, that's a cue, oh, I want a graph for that. So you want a relationship between the mass and the acceleration of your car. You will definitely need this. The more accurate this is, the better grade you're going to get. So a good graph is definitely going to contribute to getting a good grade. So the better graph, the good job. Alright, then from here, so your second goal is accurately predict the amount of time your car will take to traverse an arbitrary distance given by an arbitrarily determined mass. This is where this will come in. But you need to kind of really think about how are you going to do this. I will be more helpful as time goes on, but it is a performance task. It is how you perform, not how I as your teacher perform. So based on what you know, you can use me as a resource. Generally, I am more helpful after school. Remember, Mastery Center starts this Tuesday. So you can absolutely come to Mastery Center. It's not just for retaking tests, it's also for getting help in subjects. Additionally, I'm going to erase this really quick. So additionally, as a note, 9:30, right, I want all of your test corrections for that first test in. I have not gotten a lot, and based on your overall grades on this, I should have a lot more of them. Test corrections are up on YouTube. Get them in. Alright, so on probably Tuesday, we're going to start doing the experimentation. You're only going to have essentially 2 days, so starting about 9/27 through 9/28, maybe 9/29, because I don't really want to do experiments on a short day. You're going to have really 2 days to do the bulk of this. So you need to be ready to hit the ground running, so you are ready for your experiment. That's what this proposal is for, to make sure you're ready to just go and take your experiment. As far as what masses you will use, we have masses. You'll have to weigh them. A lot of them are kind of like this shape. And then you get to tape them with some painter's tape on top of your cart. So you're going to just tape them on. That's going to be how you're going to change your mass of your cart, because that is part of the goal. Alright, if you're going to figure out the relationship, you're gonna have to change the mass of your cart. It will be impossible otherwise. That's my fan cart. So you have to get some sort of way to measure the mass. How are you going to do that? We got a scale. So you're going to have to figure out all of these things, and that should be in your project proposal. I want your project proposal to be really easy for you to read. You may email me questions. I do like to do other things on the weekend. I know I have a secret life outside of school, but please work on that. You'll have a little bit of time Monday, but you should have the bulk of it done and thought out and be ready to bring your ideas and finish writing it Monday. So for those of you who are like, oh, I have Monday, not a big deal. Yes, it's a big deal. Write a lot of it. This is going to be 10 points out of 150 total points. So sure, that doesn't sound like a lot now, but it really starts to add up in the end unless all of you are perfect writers and are perfect at experimentation and nothing else could go wrong. Hint, lots of things can go wrong. This is the easiest part. So start off by doing it right. Alright, start off on the right foot. Especially if you feel like you're not feeling confident in your test scores. So recap. You should have your project proposal just ready to go Monday. If you are ready to go Monday, I will set you off and you can start experimenting. So the sooner your project proposal done, the sooner you can experiment. So when you're done, and yes, I will reject you if I don't think it's ready. So when you're done, you can start. So the more time you have, the better. If I keep rejecting you, you might want to come in after school for Mastery Center for help. I can talk to you more. We can get more one-on-one time. We're not as limited. That way you can get what you need to done. So make sure your project proposal is as ready as you can get it. Really think. What equations am I going to have to need? What equations am I going to need? But more importantly, how are you going to use these? And what data do you need to use these? And how will you take that data? Right? You need to be really, really specific on everything. Alright, hopefully this is helpful and it didn't just confuse you about what I want, but it should be, remember, in general, 3 paragraphs, 1 per goal, where it clearly spells out how you would accomplish said goal using a lot of these things. Alright, otherwise, have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.